Shalom, and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Cantory Hillary Chorny.
Welcome. Welcome to the Friday meditation. This is usually led by Rabbi Adam Kligfeld. Today it's my pleasure to lead for just a few moments of quiet pre-Shabbat meditation. And I want to start out with a piece of Torah. And it's a piece of Torah that I'm going to teach backwards from Talmud Sanhedrin. I teach it backwards because the piece that comes from this week's Parsha, Toldot, comes second in the Talmud. And I want to teach that first. There's a moment at the end of our Parsha. You might know of it because it's pretty dramatic. And it's this moment when Yitzchak, whose eyes are dim and weak in his old age, is being tricked by Yaakov, who would not normatively have had the birthright to be given the blessing of the eldest son. And Yaakov does this by dressing up in his brother Esav's clothing. And in the moments following the actual blessing, which does take place, the blessing over Yaakov, we hear the following, and he smelled, meaning and Yitzchak smelled the smell of Yaakov's garments, or the garments of the son before him, the bigadav. And he blessed him and said, "See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed." And there's this wonderful misread in the Talmud that it's not bigadav, but rather bogadav, meaning even the smell of my traitors, of his traitors, is among the blessing. And that even traitors and sinners among the Jewish people have qualities that are as the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. And the Talmud brings a proof text for this. The proof text comes from Reish Lakish, who says that from the source of Shir HaShirim, from Song of Songs, chapter 6, verse 7, we learn, "Your temples, rakatech, are like a pomegranate split open." And from that, we should learn that even empty people, rekanin, a related word, the empty ones among you, are as full of mitzvot as the pomegranate is full of seeds. So the operating principle, the engine driving this meditation, is this idea that even those among us who would appear to be sinners or traitors, even they are full of blessing and full of goodness, full of mitzvot, like a pomegranate is full of seeds, which is this beautiful image that plays throughout Jewish texts. So that's what I'm going to invite you into. First, I invite you to ground yourself, to settle yourself. Let the weight of yourself pull you gravitationally towards the earth. Let the palms of your feet settle. Feel that weight drift. Whatever is upon you today, let it drift down. Ground you through your legs, your knees, your hips. Breathe deeply as you do so. Breathe down into yourself. Let your shoulders settle back. Let your arms rest. Let the palms of your hand come to a rest, either face up or face down. Breathe down into a place of poised rest, of relaxation and yet attentiveness. Let your eyelids settle. Let your earlobes settle. Let your breath settle into you. And as you're breathing into this settled space, I invite you to picture yourself beneath the wide expanse of a starlit night. Above you are millions and millions of tiny pinpricks of light, And the longer you sit there in the dark, the clearer those pinpricks of light become. In your mind's eye, I want to invite you to scan that starlit sky and find amongst the constellations someone who is a comfort to you. Find them drawn amongst the constellations. Picture them like an outline in a coloring book. Connect dots in your mind. Find someone who is a comfort to you, gazing down at you, like a constellation hovering in the still, calm night sky, and they are above you. You are safe in their presence. You are settled in their presence. You feel blessed by them above you in this week in which we speak of blessings from those who love to the ones they love. I want you to gaze up again and find amongst the constellations someone who is difficult for you. Someone who you are struggling with this week, and it might be someone who you are very close to. And it might be somebody very distant whom you don't know well, but you think of them, at least in this moment, as enemy, as opposite, as out to get you. They're a challenge to you, and they are right there, not far from the ones who comfort and bless. I want to invite you to gaze up at that person and notice that they are made up of many, many pinpricks of light. They are full of the same stardust that makes up you and the ones who are easy for you and the ones you love and the ones who love you. Even the person who is a challenge to you, as you look closer, you can see that they shine, that they are full of light, and you feel safe beneath this starlight, knowing that there is goodness and a shining nature that is a part of every figure who floats through the constellations of the sky. And let's linger here quietly beneath this still, settled night sky, full of blessing and pinpricks of light. When you're ready, I invite you to let your eyelids allow light to flood back into your pupils, to return to reality, to be, but to remain settled. settled in your breath, settled with who you are, settled with the comfort of the starlight that's there even when we can't see it. So I say to you the blessing of mindfulness. May we be safe. May we be free. May we find space to just be. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be the will of the world, of the universe, of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be God, this week. And I wish you namaste and Shabbat Shalom.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.